Hi, this is Ben Ward. Good to see everyone again. Um, Talking about spiritual disciplines. My definition of spiritual disciplines are the habits that we develop that position us so God can bless us, and that seems to reflect a lot of what Foster wrote and what Wesley wrote about the means of grace. It's the idea that we don't work to achieve godliness or to grow closer to God, but at the same time, we do play a part as we can position ourselves in an area where we can receive God's grace. Um, the distinction between inward, outward, and corporate disciplines. I'd say inward disciplines are those that can be done in secret, what Jesus talked about when he encouraged us to go into our prayer closets. The idea was that we don't do our certain things to be seen by people. As far as what Foster classifies as inward disciplines, he has meditation, prayer, fasting, and study. These are all things that we don't need to announce to anyone. We can do these well in our prayer closets. The second category, outward disciplines, I would say are by nature visible to others. In Foster's thoughts, this category includes simplicity, solitude, submission, and service. We don't necessarily need other people to participate with us in order for us to be able to do these things, but the same way, these practices are visible to others around us. The third category, corporate disciplines, they are not only visible to others, but they require the active engagement of others. Foster classified confession, worship, guidance, and celebration in this category. How often do I practice the spiritual disciplines? I would say spiritual disciplines have been a key guiding force in my life. I can't imagine living the Christian life without spiritual disciplines being a part of it. I'd say the ones I practice most regularly are probably meditation, prayer, and solitude. Journaling would be a component of that, kind of lumped in with those other three. I'd say I'm growing in the discipline of confession and guidance, a little bit more corporate disciplines. That have become a lot more meaningful to me in the last couple of years. One that I don't practice as often as I should, and I look forward to learning more about, would be celebration. I wanna learn how to the corporate dynamic of celebrating what God is doing. My exposure to spiritual disciplines as a young person came primarily through my mom. I remember my mom would spend a couple hours routinely every day praying, and she was the one that really modeled for me how to, and at first mandated and then later encouraged that I begin a regular prayer and Bible reading time. I'm forever indebted to her for both her example and her instruction in that. It was reinforced by the church that I attended. Spiritual disciplines were, but it was just that. It was reinforcing what was already being modeled for me in my home. And so as I think back on what formed my views of spiritual disciplines, my mom's role would take precedence there. We are, as far as our current context goes, I would say that we are in the process of looking at how we make spiritual disciplines more of a priority. We're looking at launching something called a growth track actually next month in February. And the goal of this would be to set people up well to connect with the mission of Journey, but also to grow in the relationship with God for the rest of their lives. And we'll devote a whole session out of the 4 sessions that Growth Track encompasses to establishing healthy spiritual habits that bring about spiritual maturity. We'll talk in there about the disciplines of meditation, learning how to feed yourself through scripture, of prayer, of being led by the Spirit, of the importance of corporate worship. So I would say we value spiritual disciplines and we teach on them, but we are becoming more systematic about it in the coming months. All right, that's all for now. Look forward to another great semester together. Enjoy your evening.